Okay, so it's Friday the 13th. Quick update on the Chapel Road project. Two big hurdles this week. Uh, First one was septic inspection. That was on Monday. And the second one was having the zoning administrator out to look at the property to see about it fitting the current zoning regulations, which in this zone, rural conservation, they have a minimum building size of 20 foot by 20 feet. What we were proposing was smaller in one dimension, 12 and a half by 30. So in one dimension it fit, the other it didn't. At this point, they're holding firm to that minimum size. So it does throw a wrench in the works of using the slab that's currently this building sits on. We're going to look at it. I mean, I think it would be kind of problematic to try to use that and enlarge to a 20 by 20. So we're kind of back to the drawing board a little bit to look at fitting their minimum size, so 20 by 20 at least for a footprint. And then potentially still saving the slab that this building is on. So instead of tearing this all out, we're thinking we would probably look at saving that slab. It could be used for, a screened-in porch, or a three-season kind of room versus, a full living space. Other thing we're looking at, just thinking if we're going to do a bunch of redesign, potentially, and doing a new foundation, which would be most likely on this other side. So this part still would be coming off, knocking down some of this block wall, but this is kind of top of the head today, thinking about what we do. This back portion is all going to come off, and then potentially changing the grade here. So, where this back part's coming off, that's where we would do this minimum by 2020 building, full new foundation. One thought we still got to investigate, but kind of popped in my head this morning is instead of digging down here, I mean, we'll dig down some, but instead of going down, 6 feet to run footings, they're potentially, digging down a couple feet, but then building up the grade to match where that spring house cover is. You can see it drops down quite a bit. So actually doing some digging here, probably go down 2-3 feet, put our footings in, and then basically build all around the house, kind of mound up around it. So the house would be sitting on a high point here, which isn't a bad thing in terms of drainage. The front's fine, that slopes off pretty good, but the back, the land kind of gradually goes up away from the house. So if we were to build this up so the house is sitting higher, certainly a good thing for drainage, a lot less digging required to put in the cellar hole. So that's something we're going to investigate, in building something to their minimum size where we have to do a full new foundation. Looking at kind of building up the land around here so the house sits up kind of on a high point in the immediate area. So next step, we submitted our demo permit today to the town. There's a variety of town boards that have to review that, Historic Commission, Utilities Commission, there's a whole bunch, zoning administrator, building inspector. They've got to sign off on just, the process of taking this down. So part of that's looking, utilities, they've got to make sure that, if there was town water here, that was shut off. There is no town water. There's, only utility really is the electric that comes in. That's, disconnected from the building right now. So that's not going to be an issue. I expect getting the demo permit should be pretty straightforward. So that's the next piece, that's been submitted. Hopefully we'll get that, sometime during the week, I would expect, which would give us the green light to start to dismantle, what we've got here. for the moment, we would certainly be leaving the slab, leaving this concrete block, at least most of it. Potentially, if we end up building around this, kind of building up the earth around this, you know, some of that block wall would take down, you know, quite a bit of it, but maybe leave 3 or 4 feet, which would end up being a retaining wall for the earth that we build up around it. So that's kind of where we're at right now, waiting on demo permit. Again, the hurdle with zoning administrator, we didn't clear that hurdle, so we're adjusting our plans to fit, you know, what they're requiring. So I will update more, you know, probably next week, you know, when we hear from demo, because then we'll set up getting a dumpster here and we'll start taking all this stuff down.